not stay up? Did you not stay up and watch this after putting up with so much awfulness over the first 2 months of the season? You didn't stay up for this one? Good morning to you. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. Sit down, okay? Pirates 9, Diamondbacks 6. This after Arizona had a 6-0 lead through 5 innings. This with Corbin Burnes on the mound for the Diamondbacks. This with Mike Burrows having been chased after 3 1/3, and Joey Wentz coming in after that and not being a whole lot better. This after 2 months of phenomenal failure on the part of the offense. But it happened. It happened at Chase Field. Henry Davis smoked a 2-run homer, and I mean smoked 432 feet off of Burnes that got it going. That made it 6-2. In the 8th inning, an Isaiah Kiner-Falefa bases clearing double tied it up at 6-6. Brian Reynolds followed that up by smacking a 3-run homer. And yes, those are still legal. And look, I'm not going to be one of those Pollyannas who looks at this and says, this is it. This is the turning point. You know, the Diamondbacks had a terrible reliever out there. They left him out there way too long. The Pirates, to their considerable credit, made that count for a change. But this was their 20th win at the end of May. So there's no need to overdo it. However, there are 3 things that I really liked about this game that I feel were legit. One is the obvious, and that's Reynolds. Now, nothing that Reynolds does positively in baseball ever surprises me, and no matter how low his average has sunk, you've heard me say repeatedly, he's going to hit, he's going to hit, he's going to hit. Why? Because he's always hit. And in this game, he goes 4 for 4 with a walk. 5 plate appearances, 5 times on base with 3 RBIs. And that's what he's capable of. And he's capable of doing that in ridiculous rushes. That's an immense positive. As I was joking with him just the other day, you do realize that if you end up at your career norms for the year, you're going to have a pretty spectacular summer here, right? He goes, well, we'll see. But in Reynolds speak, that was excitement, I think. Henry Davis comes in late after Joey Bart got dinged on the head a couple of times through the game, as catchers tend to do. Henry replaces Bart and homers, as I'd mentioned, off Burnes. He also doubles, and he's been playing very good baseball, both at the plate and behind it. And I've been advocating here increasingly that he needs to play. Now, nobody wishes injury upon anyone, but it really shouldn't take a Bart injury to get a number 1 overall pick some activity whenever he finally starts looking like he fits here. Here's a little of what Henry had to say last night to reporters in Phoenix, including Greg McAfee of DK Pittsburgh Sports.
Yeah, just put a ton of work in, right? I think I believe in myself a lot. Just knowing that if you are who you say you are, it's going to show no matter what, and just continuing to have that same mindset and keep confidence no matter if, I'm playing consistently or not, or just trying to, feel like who I am every time I get in that box and have that confidence right there.
Third thing I like, I'd say it's at least fair to point out that the Pirates under Don Kelly have competed. They haven't necessarily been miles above in terms of wins and losses. They're now 8-10 since Kelly took over for Derek Shelton. But out of those 18 games, 11 have been decided by 1 run. And there have been more comebacks or just clawing back to make it close type of efforts in these past 2.5 weeks than we had seen all season beforehand. That's encouraging. That's what you want to see from the new manager effect. And of course, you want to see it sustain itself even when your team is as far out of everything as the Pirates are. Very, very nice night in Phoenix. Possibly to be followed by a nice afternoon today, considering that Paul Skeens is on the mound. When we come back, J1 Cube.
If you're looking for a great dining experience, look no further than North Shore Tavern. Located directly across Federal Street from PNC Park, next door to Mike's Beer Bar, North Shore Tavern is Pittsburgh's home for steak on a stone. Enjoy your steak finished on a hot lava stone in front of you, where you ensure each piece is cooked to exactly your liking. Or try their rotating selection of entrees, hot sandwiches, salads, and burgers, all while enjoying the ambiance dedicated to the great players and history of the Pittsburgh Pirates all around you. Come see why everyone's talking about North Shore Tavern and steak on a stone.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragechek.org. That's gunstoragechek.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Today's J1Q comes from Brian, who says, DK, is this the statistical correction that we've been squinting for? The squint rears its ugly head. Statistical correction, yeah. And again, I'm just going to keep pointing to Brian Reynolds. To me, he's the only one, and I've been saying this throughout, who was slumping. Everyone else is just kind of being who they are. So, statistical correction for Reynolds, yes. Even after this 4 for 4 with a walk night, he's at 223 for his batting average, 652 for his OPS. He still has a big climb ahead of him. The thing is, he's going to make that climb because he's exactly that good. The rest of these guys, I mean, I can't say that about. Which is why, at the risk of repeating what's in the opening segment, I'd rather focus on the things that look like they might be meaningful or will become meaningful. And Don Kelly's part of that. I referenced the energy and everything else that he's brought to the team, but listen to how he opened his press conference in his office at Chase Field before a question had even been asked.
Wow, that's all I can say. I mean, there's so many things to go through in that game. Joey Wentz, unbelievable job coming in and going 3 2/3. Henry Davis coming off the bench with a big home run, double to start that rally, and countless other things that happened throughout that just continue to piece it together to get that win.
I mean, that wow at the beginning, that's not something you've heard from a Pittsburgh manager in quite a while. It's easy to tell he was actually feeling that. And, he's not going to transform bad hitters into a good offense. No manager could do that. No hitting coach could do that. But he can, and to date has transformed a really bad scene into one that's not nearly as bad. Yeah, it's going to be rough when you lose. You're not playing any music. You're not exactly bouncing around, cracking jokes or anything. But you can keep everyone focused on the game that's being played that day. And in the baseball world, that's a healthy approach. If they had lost this one, the way it was going, it sure looked like they would, being down 6-0, Corbin Burns out there, then you'd still have to be able to, refuel by this afternoon. Good manager can do that. The early signs with Kelly are that he can do that. Just imagine now if he had a general manager who could get him some players. And I appreciate the question, Brian. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Pirates. We'll be back with another one of these tomorrow.